Good everyone, and welcome back to our online free training on software development. So today we are going to be looking at software development using JavaScript. This week we focus on introduction to software development. You will learn what is software development, the software development life cycle and its phases, the tools needed for software development, then an introduction to JavaScript with a simple code example. So let's start with the class. The first thing is, what is software development? When we are asked the meaning of software development, that is the act of developing software. That is the simple meaning. But the definition is the process of creating computer programs or applications that solves problems. That is why most of the software developers, they are known to be solving problems. Having said that, we have to continue with the tools needed for software development. What are the tools needed for software development? Number one tools is VS Code or Sublime Text, which is used for writing code and is generally known as text editors. Then we have our browser. So that is the code we use for testing our code. Those are the two tools we basically need for software development using JavaScript. So now let's move to software development lifecycle. SDLC. What is software development lifecycle? In a normal sense, those are the things, those are the activities we do when we are developing softwares. We have phases of software development. We have about 7 phases that made up a software developers that allows you to be able to solve a problem. The number one phase is gathering requirements. When you are given a software, the first thing you need to do is to know the requirements you need to use. You gather the requirements that we solve or that we bring solution to that particular problems. Then number 2 is planning. How do you understand the problem? You need to understand the problem. You need to know what the users want to solve. That is planning. You plan how to solve your problem. If you cannot understand your problem, you cannot plan to solve it. So you have to understand it. Then we have number 3, which is design. You have to draw how the software looks, how the software should look. This is why some developers need to be using graphics tools to draw the sketch of how the softwares will look like. That is why we make use of UI UX. We make use of graphic design like CorelDRAW also. And also we can equally make use of our pen and paper to draw the way our softwares will look like. Then we move on to the development. After you have already sketched out the drawing of how you want the software to look like, you have to make use of your code to develop that particular software. Development is an act of writing code to the software sketch out. This code can be written using any language or computer, depending on the requirement you research for. We have a lot of languages that you can use for development, but for the purpose of this course, we are going to be using JavaScript. After you write out your code, you test it. That's the act of checking for errors, whether your code is working properly. You test your codes. After testing, you deploy. Deployment is the act of launching the software to use. You send it out for people to use. Then, lastly, you update and fix issues. When people are using it, there will be problem. They will tell you this is what is giving us. Can you work on this? You try to update it and fix some errors. That is maintenance. These are the 7 phases we have when we are developing a software. Then we can move on to the introduction to JavaScript. How do we write JavaScript? What is JavaScript before we move to the how to write JavaScript code? JavaScript is a programming language used to make websites interactive. JavaScript works with HTML and CSS. It is basically used for online applications. So if you have not learned HTML before, at least you should be able to follow us with some little steps without being bothering. So the first thing to do, since we have already made mention of the tools we needed, and among the tools is text editor, and we are going to be using VS Code for our code. So I'm trying to launch the VS Code. So when it opens, we write a basic JavaScript code, then we run it, then we proceed with assignment and call it a day. When you open your VS Code, this is exactly what you are going to see. So you click to open new document by pressing Ctrl N or double click this side. So I'm going to we have many ways of including JS in our HTML. So I'm going to be using internal for now. So how do you save for the first time? Since you are using internal JS, you save it as .html. But if you are using external JS, you save it as .js. So let me save. File. It says save as. What is the name we want to use to save? We can call it my underscore pract .html. That's the way I want to save it. I will make sure that I save it where I can easily find it, which is on desktop. Then I will click on save. I've successfully saved it, but I've not written any code. So if I want to bring out some HTML structures, I'll just press Shift 1, then I'll enter to bring out HTML structures. This is the code that we call the basic HTML structure. So we have the full HTML structure. So now I want to include JS. I want to write a JS functions for the first time. Our JS functions can be alert or document.write to just see how to include JS in our HTML. So I will put in before you can write a JS, there's something called script tag. You have to include it. If you open a script tag, you close it so that the HTML, the web will understand that you are including a script in this your web applications. You can change the title of your application to be first practical. Then under your script, let's just include a simple JS code. You can just write alert. What do you want to alert? You can say welcome to JS class. What does this function do? These functions bring out a flyout message on our screen. So let's run this first code to see the results. So you right click on the name, then you copy the path and go to browser. I'll paste the path that I copy, then enter. What do you see first? Welcome to JS class. That is the message we include in our script tag. This particular script tag. Alert. Alert means bring out a fly out box displaying a message. We still have another compulsory function that we use in displaying, which is called document.write. You can simply write it like this, document.write. Then what is the message you want to send? You want to display? You can display I'm just learning. So you can save it and go to your browser again and just run it and refresh. Welcome to JS. That is the alert message, and I am just learning. So this is a JS code that we use in displaying a message. We have many ways of showing message. You can also use prompt to show message. The but prompt is used to enter message. Maybe you want to enter some text yourself. You can just direct it to say enter your name. So prompt also, it is used as a message. So the first alert message is this, welcome to JS, and another one is the prompt message that's telling you to enter your name. This is what is bringing out the prompt message. So you can just type anything, then say okay. Then the document.write will allow you to write I am just learning. So this is just the basic JavaScript code that we have just run. And this particular display function, we are going to be using it later. So we still have another one that we use. That's document.getElement by ID. We equally use it to change text, but this one, it requires you to write HTML codes. It requires you to write HTML code. So let's quickly do that. Then we use document.getElementID to change whatever that we include in our HTML. The common tag we normally use is heading, which is H1, but this one is going to have an ID. The purpose of this ID is for us to be able to get the element by it. Let's say student. This ID is student, and I want to change this word hello student. Then I'll close the ID. I'll close the H1. So now I want to create a button that when I click on that button, I want it to change the text hello student to another text of my choice. So I will create a button. How do you create a button that you can click? You use a button tag. Button, then when you click it, that is on click function. On click equal to, you can call it any function name, maybe change, you can call it change, then make it a function. Then you continue. How do you want the function to be displayed? Click. You can say click to change. Then you close your button. You close your button tag. So you have successfully created a button and you have successfully created an heading tag. Let's see what we have done before we change the text. So as you can see, it's already showing hello student. So when you click, when we click, I want it to change from this hello student to another thing. So what do we use to do this? We use JS. So we are going to write a function to change that particular something, that when we click, to change the content we have. So you have to put function. What is the function name? Change. You maintain the name of the onClick so that it will match. Say change. Function name change. You open your curly brace. Then what do you want to do with the function you create? I want to get the element, which is this. I want to get this element and change it. So you use a function called document.getElements by ID. What is the ID name? The ID name is student. So you put student. Help me and go and get the elements that's inside the HTML, inner HTML. Then I want to change it to welcome student. So I want to say welcome student. Then I will terminate. So whenever I click on that button, that click me button, I want it to change this particular text hello student to welcome students. So that is what I want this particular code to do. So let me save it and we run it. We'll refresh. So when I click change now, the text changed to welcome students. As you can see, initial code is showing hello students, but when I click to change, my JavaScript allows it to change to welcome student. So these are example of JS code that we can do, that we can use JS to do. JS, it's used for interactive. It allows your web pages to be interactive, to be functioning. When you do something, you want it to do something. That is JS. So having said that, we are going to call it a day with this assignment, and this assignment is going to be 15 marks. Let's go back to our curriculum, our guides. So the assignment is going to be 15 marks. The first thing you are going to do is to define software development. The second thing you are going to do is to list the 6 among the 7th SDLC. Then you will install VS Code and take a screenshot. So this is how you are going to do it. The definition of software development and the phases. You are going to do a video for it. Then in your video, you are going to show the screenshots of your installed VS Code. I wish you all the best. If you have any challenges, you can comment. Then we continue from there. By the grace of God, we are going to be building a simple software using JS in our next class. I wish you all the best and have a wonderful day ahead. If you like this video, you can subscribe so that you can receive more notification about this.